Go. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Hey, 18. 57's Mike.
Now Trubisky on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Holt. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A first carry now for Jordan Howard. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Alert.
Now Trubisky to throw. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And he's got his target. That's Moore. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double-team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Exit.
From the 39, Trubisky over the middle, complete. It's Holt. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
It's just me and you. Check 37. Red 80.
On 2nd and 2, Darnold. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Here we go, son.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. Kill. Hey, turn it up. Jim.
Red 80. Here we go.
Pick the edge.
Come.
Watch twist.
280.
Slam.
280.
They'll run on first down. It's Banks. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Rush in. Rush in. Jump.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game. It's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Darnold going to lead the offense up first and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll try the left side. Banks. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a second and 13.
Mike, 58. 58 for Mike. Nice, sweetheart. Check, young lady. Check.
Now it's Darnold. A dump underneath to Jones. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3. Call it a 3-yard gain. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. We're scoreless after 1.
Watch him. Check.
They wound up getting nothing out of that second down completion, so now here's 3rd and 10.
He don't want it. Check the backer.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Brian Burns make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Back. Hey, seam 6.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker, and they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
What's that? The mic. 58, the mic. Down to lose one. Kill.
On first down, it's Banks. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Right over there. Yeah. No, lady. Right there. Come on. You better bring it. Switch. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Shift. Watch the shift. SOS. Ready. SOS. Check 15.
On second down, it's Banks, and he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. Darnold completes it. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Check 31.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for third down.
Watch out. Bang. Check three. Man, Eddie. Fresno.
Now a give, right side. Banks. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Check Mike 45.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Holt. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
18. 45, Mike, 45.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. And that's complete to McCaffrey. An agile move and a nice gain, then dropped at the 25-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half, 10-0 our score. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And Howard stops short. He didn't get there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
The kick by Marr is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
The Bucs take over at their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are in the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Christian McCaffrey deep for Carolina. Fielded just inside the 20. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This will be taken in at the 1. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Shift. He's coming.
And now a jet sweep. This is Evans with it. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Mike, 59, Mike. Check, 59. Red lady. Mike spot 9. Red lady. Yeah.
Darnold on third down. Open man has got one. It's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 35. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion. And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Check the outs. Check the out. Watch the end.
49, check 49.
Shift.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Banks, and the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field. But they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey, check Mike 45. Hey, echo. You must be dreaming. 45.
Now Trubisky. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Past the 20. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead down to 3 at 13-10. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, man. Watch
59 Mike. 59 Mike. Check. 59. Watch the pass.
Darnold. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Brian Burns in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Silver. 45's the mic.
Hey, Foxtrot.
Throwing here, Trubisky. And Thomas has it. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
14 yards, good for a Panther first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a Panthers first down, 17 yards on the play.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
You ain't got nothing.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Second and 10 now. It's Trubisky. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up in that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Ran, you gonna see me in your nightmares, son. Hey, ball.
On 3rd down, Trubisky looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong, you know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Switch. He's coming. Double up. He's coming.
They'll run on first down. It's Banks, and he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
59. Mike's 59. Watch the car. 36.
They'll try the left side. Banks. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. They won on 2 fronts there, so to speak, Charles. Not only do they stop him short of the first, they get him out of bounds and stop the clock.
Yeah, they won. The offensive guys lost because they wanted to stay in bounds and have that clock run or force you to use timeouts. Instead, the defense won, as you mentioned, on both fronts.
And it's fielded at the 34. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3. The Panthers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Hey, alert. Hey, orbit.
Now it's Trubisky. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. Trubisky now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Trubisky with a give to Howard. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Again, it's Howard, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. 2 division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. Here's Trubisky to throw. And he's got the hook up to Moore. A gain of 6 there on first. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
I'm coming after you.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. Try the right side with Howard. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The kick by Maher is good. And we are all tied here in the final stages. So a big kick to get this back to even. Yet now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get into overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you. But you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, there's something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A run there on first down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Alert 3, alert 3.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Banks. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Let's go. Check. Mike is 59. Mike to 59.
Yeah. Hey, set. Switch gears.
On first down, it's Banks. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Check.
Under 10.
On 2nd down now, it's Banks. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Watch the whip.
Sponge. No. Check. Hot route. Hot. Check 37. Delaney. Hey, turn it up.
Now again, right side. Banks. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop him with 13 seconds left to play. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Hatch it.
Go.
They'll try the left side. It's Banks, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Check 9, check 9. Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog. Rush in, rush in, rush in. Joker, 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 tight.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Banks, and not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
In the face. Slam, slam, slam. And 80. Oh, 80. What's the mic? Watch twist. And 80. Twist. Save. General West. Kill.
Darnold, his first throw in overtime. Throw left side complete. That's Banks. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. I know there may be temptation to go for it here in overtime, but you have to punt the football.
I like how emphatic you are about it because I know the tendency is, as a player, let's go get this thing. You're actually telling your coach, come on, coach, we can get it. We have that play call. And the head coach has to remember, that play call likely isn't there. Punt the ball away. Punt it away. Be smart.
Trust your defense.
Trust them.
So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaq Thompson making his presence felt on the sack. The D brought the house. They called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play? Or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want. They go right to the blitz. And in this case, they nailed it. Got right to the quarterback. No chance on that 4th down.
9 yards is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT.
Come on, 180.
Mike 45.
Hey, we're pretty quiet. Alert.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Brandon, I go ahead and kick it right now. I know it's only 2nd down, but I kick it and give myself a little margin for error here.
Don't wait for 3rd, have the extra down just in case.
If something goes wrong, messed up snap, anything like that, you fall on it, guess what? It's 3rd down. You still have the ball. You still have a chance to kick it.
I'm coming after you.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their